Hi, music fans. Welcome back to the Roundtable. I'm your host, Steven. Today I'll be talking about 2017's retrospective, A Fire in the Sky. This is basically the best of Deep Purple. This the one I have here is the 3 CD set in conjunction with Rhino Records. So you know with Rhino you're gonna get a good product, and this is no exception. Got a nice biography of the band, history of the band, kind of stuff in here in the booklet. It's a 3 CD set. Like I said, there is a more manageable one disc set which contains about 20 tracks, basically all their singles. This set here goes from 1968 to 2013, but in reverse. So it's 2013 to 1968, chronological but reverse chronological. Of course, it does not touch their excellent later day albums, 2017's Infinite, 2020's Whoosh, and 2021's Turning to Crime. But nonetheless, it does hit on other albums that deserve to be heard. For instance, Rapture of the Deep, which I thought was a great album from them, and especially the criminally underrated Perpendicular, the first album with Steve Morse on guitar when Blackmore left. Great album. Different sounding Purple again at that point, but a great album nonetheless. It does touch off, so the first disc is 2013 up to I believe 1983's or 1984's Perfect Strangers. And there's also the underrated The Battle Rages On when Blackmore did come back for an album. And there's the one album that Joe Lynn Turner when he fronted the band. So it's nice that it's included there. I like that song King of Dreams. I think it's a great track. It may not be a fantastic Deep Purple track, but it would have been great on a Rainbow compilation. If they ever do a greatest hits and put a couple of new tracks, that would have been great, and it would, I think, worked out a little better. But it's here nonetheless, and I like that it is here, that they didn't ignore it. And I'm glad they didn't ignore the Coverdale Glenn Hughes era. Although that is a bit different. Most fans prefer Purple with the rock blues era. This is more kind of funky. So I understand people's trepidation on it, but it's basically half of disc two. So as some fans might get slightly turned off, it does go back to the Gillan as lead vocalist and back to their rock roots kind of thing. So you have everything else on here, Woman from Tokyo, Space Truckin', Smoke on the Water, When a Woman Cries, Highway Star, Demon's Eye, Fireball, Strange Kind of Woman, Child in Time, Speed King, ends with Hush. You have Kentucky Woman. You have everything you can possibly want. But I think what's important here, that it does hit the other eras of the band, and I guess especially the underrated Perpendicular album, and it does touch on the Coverdale Hughes era as well. So all in all, and it sounds impeccable. I played it yesterday on my CD player, and it sounds great. So the remastering sounds good. It sounds like it's supposed to sound. It's not just the trebles boosted to the highest level and it's distorted. It's clear, clean, and precise, and that's what I'm asking for in any kind of remastering. And you get it here. So Rhino has done it again. If you kind of drifted off, a lot of fans kind of drifted off after Perfect Strangers, and that's okay. But they do have some good material after that, and this does touch up on them. If you do pick up the 3 CD set, you do get a glimpse of what they've done, and the tracks they have selected, I'm fine with. Some of them you could have played with, and everybody would. So there's never going to be a perfect retrospective. Everybody has their favorite song off an album, and everybody thinks a certain album is underappreciated, and will pick a different song. But for the most part, I think they were spot on their song selection. And it, again, I said it sounds great. It is odd that it's in reverse order, but I guess it's to save the best for last. So I understand that. But all in all, I'm gonna say if you kind of drifted off after Perfect Strangers, and you want to see what Deep Purple has done since then, and even before, like I said, it's from '68 to 2013, so you have a good glimpse of the band. So I recommend this. Um, I think it's essential if you have not followed Deep Purple in the longest time, and you kind of hear the rumblings of their new albums, how they're back in a good creative space, and they are, in my opinion. Their last three albums have been quite enjoyable. It is not as rock as maybe some fans would want, but there's some great songs to be discovered, and I'm sure the next gigantic retrospective will hopefully include some of the albums from Infinite and Whoosh. But until then, if you're looking for our greatest hits package and you're willing to splurge a little bit more money on this, I think this is like $29.99 on average. But for 3 discs, and I'm telling you, it sounds great, so don't worry about that. And it does touch on every album that they've released from 68 to 2013. So you're going to get a good idea of what they've been doing, and I think you'll be quite impressed with it. So that's my selection, my retro review, 2017's retrospective, A Fire in the Sky from Deep Purple. If you don't have it, pick it up or stream it, listen to it on a streaming service. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised on what they put on here. And it's like I said, it sounds great. So you can't go wrong. Music should sound great, and Rhino has done it again with a great package. So this is Steven from the Roundtable, highly recommending A Fire in the Sky. I would go with the 3 CD set myself. But you let me know if you have this or you're thinking about getting it. Would you change some of the tracks on here? I'd love to hear from you. Hit that like button and subscribe, and we'll see you soon.